Have a little garden chat today. You guys went on GrowFitFlorida.com. You clicked on get featured and you sent me some questions that you want answered that's going to help everybody else. I'm going to read those right now. So let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is Jermaine and I grow food right here in beautiful West Central Florida, Zone 10A. I'm just going to take them at random. The first one that I have is from Samius61. It says, you show a lot of medicinal herbs. Yes, I do. That help you with healing, but one thing that I don't see you suggest is what's good for our skin and hair. Thanks for all your videos. They have been extremely helpful. Well, you could be right, Sammy, with that one. I don't mention a lot about the skin and hair. I know there's a lot of videos I want to do on skin and hair. It's just a time thing, to be honest with you, just a time thing. But if you want one plant that I suggest that you grow right now, you can put in the ground, you're going to be a little bit late depending on where you live, what part of Florida or what part of the South you live in, because this plant that I'm about to show you, it does not like frost freeze whatsoever. But maybe in the future, after your last frost date, you can put it in the ground. Let me go, quit talking, let me go show you. Looking for something for your skin and your hair, I definitely suggest growing some shampoo ginger. Now, a couple things about shampoo ginger. First off, they do not like the cold. Any type of frost or freeze, these will die back. That's just going to happen. So the best time to get these in the ground is immediately right after your last frost date, when that soil warms up, because it takes between 7 to 9 months, depending on conditions, depending on where you at, and your soil and all types of things, for you to actually get that flower. And that flower, I don't have mine yet. We're a couple months away from us actually getting our flower on these. But that flower, when you squeeze it, it makes like a real thick gel, and it's good for multiple uses. If you don't cut off that flower, you can just keep squeezing it and it's going to keep regenerating itself. Now, you could put it on your hair and it's good. It helps control dandruff and it calms itchy scalp. You can also put it on your skin. It's like a natural toner and it helps with minor breakouts. Now, it's easy to grow if you live anywhere in the South. Zones 8B down to 11. And again, it does not like any type of frost or freeze. It will come back. Like you see ours right here. Is right next to a Rica palm that died back in January when we had that out the blue frost freeze, and I actually forgot that I put some shampoo ginger there. So yeah, so it always comes back, and this is what I suggest for you. That's not the only thing that you can grow. I also mentioned papaya in past videos, so go check out some of those papaya videos I have. Papaya is an excellent thing that you can grow. It's an excellent plant that you can grow that's also going to be beneficial for your skin and your hair. Next question is from Remy Jordan. If you had to start all over, what would be the first three things that you plant? Um, well, I'm looking at one. We all know what my first one is going to be. It's going to be Moringa. That's number one. Number two, I probably would go with collards, collard greens. And number three, cassava. Yeah. So Moringa, collards, and cassava. And the reason why I suggest, or I would plant those three, is number one, Moringa is because we use it every single day. It's our multivitamin. So I'm always going to have to, need my vitamins, and that's going to be the first thing I plant. Second one, collards. I mean, it's collards. Who doesn't like collard greens? I love collard greens. So they're healthy for you. For most of us, they're a little bit healthier than actually eating kale for a few reasons. So that's another thing. They taste great. I just love collards. Third plant is cassava. Cassava is another one that just tastes great and you get so much food and it's easy to grow. All three of them that I mentioned is pretty easy to grow down here. But cassava is so easy to grow and you get so much food, and it just tastes great. So, yep, those are the three. I know, no fruit trees or might not be what you're thinking, but for me, those are the three definite that if we had to start all over or if we moved and we had an empty backyard, those are the first three I'm definitely planting. and from seeds for Moringa, because you do want that tap root to develop underground to get the nutrients. So I'm going to go with, from seed with the Moringa. Um, Also, I'm going to go with, of course, with the collards, I'm going to go from seed too, because they grow fast, so you don't have to worry about that. And with the cassava, we're going to go from a cutting. So there we go. Question number 3 comes from Jess Cruising to Booze. Hey, I love your videos. I've been following for a couple years now, and I look forward to every video. Thank you. I also have 2 of your books and gifted one to a friend. Oh, thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for the support of the channel, of my family, and thank you for sharing it with other people. Thank you. I don't know if you actually do this, but can you share a few mistakes you have made? Nobody ever shows the mistakes. I assume even you make them. Can we see? I make a lot. Maybe we all can learn from those as much as we do from everything else you teach us. Thank you. Well, I make a ton of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. The whole reasoning behind much of this channel is because I've learned how not to do things, and now I'm starting to get things more right than wrong, and I'm trying my best to teach everybody, everyone that I can, how to do things the right way. And a lot of things that I've found in growing so much food is sometimes it's not about right or wrong. It's about what's good for your backyard, or what's good for your family, or what's good for yourself, because you can grow one thing one way because you're able to do it. You're able to put in that work. And then you have somebody who can't, because they don't physically, they can't put in the work, or they don't have the same setup you have, and they can still grow the same thing, just a different way of growing it. So it's not so cut and dry. It's not as easy as saying this is how you do it. But there are some things that you can totally blow, and that's what I'm trying to teach you guys, so you can move faster with this gardening and you can grow more food at a quicker pace. But you want to see some mistakes that I made that I still have in the food forest? Let me show you. Mistake number 1. So you see a areca palm, and which is cool. You all know I love areca palms. But what you don't see is behind this areca palm, you have a LSU fig, like right behind it and in between some sugar cane. I didn't mean for this to happen. This was, granted, it's not a crazy bad mistake, but it's still a mistake. I planted a areca palm here, and that LSU, I just really didn't see it when I put the areca palm there. I did not see that LSU purple was. It was basically a stump. I probably left it for dead, and over the past few months, like, it's showing like, hey, I'm still alive. That's why you never give up on your plants. That's one mistake right there. So mistake number 2, you never know how big elderberry trees can actually get until you either see one or you grow your own. Unfortunately for us, we never seen one. We didn't see one before we start growing, and we just always took elderberry. And this is what happens if you want a good harvest. Now, the reason why I say that this is a mistake is, 1, the area that we put our elderberry, I would not have planted it over here with not that much space. And number 2, as you see, it's just going all over into our neighbors. And we told them they can have as much elderberry as they like. But the thing is, if your neighbors have any type of pets or kids that like to just grab anything, that can be dangerous for them. And the elderberry, it also produces suckers like this that comes up. So there's the elderberry tree, but what made its way all the way over here? So yeah, it's a mistake. It's a costly mistake. Now we get so much elderberry from these trees, we're not going to take them out because this is it's producing. But I would not have done that. I should have did more research early on before we planted the tree. Luckily, I know now, I know better, and yeah, it is what it is. Mistake number 3 is with these guys, and I'm just showing just some random banana plants. And let me show you where I made that mistake. So remember, banana plants. Mistake was, now this is our neighbor's house over there. As you see his roof. At one point, when we started our food forest, bananas, everybody loves the bananas. It's the tropical look, tropical vibes, and who doesn't like bananas? We planted banana plants, like let's say this close. So here's the fence right here. So you see the fence. We planted bananas like right there and like right in there. Like, so a foot away, maybe, yeah, a foot away. And what happens is that rhizome on the ground with your bananas, it goes and it travels. And when you get one coming up, first off, it moves your gate because they're that thick. And if that's not sturdy, it will push it back. And number two, that rhizome on the ground, it starts to creep and it comes up on your neighbor's side. So you don't know that at first. That was a big mistake we made, and we had so many. And what happened was, one day I was out just weed whacking, along the edge, and I seen underneath, we have a spot that's a little bit further down where you can kind of see more underneath. What I seen was rhizomes starting to form and come up. So I had to go through this whole back here and dig up everything. And now I have learned. So now with our bananas, I move them away from that fence. I give them a good 3-4 feet away from the fence line, because hey, maybe your neighbors don't want bananas and things popping up on their side. They're hard to get rid of. So that's a mistake. Next mistake is one that is like the hardest for me. The other one's like, all right, whatever, it's a mistake, I learned. But this next one, if you guys remember, my dad, he passed last year. And I made a video. We planted a mango tree in his honor. And it was a nice sized mango tree, a Valencia Pride. It was a beautiful mango tree. And before this last January, when we had that crazy frost, that mango tree was about 7 feet tall. It was beautiful. And I used to say, this thing's gonna be big, just like my father, just like my dad. So we had that frost freeze, and it took the mango tree out. It took it back. Why? Because I planted it on an island, basically, by itself. Since we've been living in our home here in 10A, Central Florida, we haven't had any freezes. Like, it hasn't been any freezes. We had a couple days of concern, every year, but it hasn't really been like that. So growing mangoes have never been an issue, never been a problem. Well, it showed us, in January, it showed us this year that, hey, look, you ain't in South Florida. It reminded us real quick. And it took out my dad's memorial tree. So that's a huge mistake. I learned, when you are not in South Florida, you can't just be planting your mango trees just out in the open like that, and with nothing protecting them, nothing around. Because if you do have frost or freezes, it's very difficult to protect these tropical trees when they're by itself. So what we're doing now, and we already did it with a lot of our other trees, and it worked. In January, when we had that, we had so many of our trees survive, and it was perfectly fine because we did this. And let me show you. Where is the mango tree? Do you guys see it? So this is my dad's Valencia Pride memorial mango tree that we planted in his honor. What we do now is we're planting pigeon peas all around this tree, or whatever else we have. We got pigeon peas, we got marigolds, and yes, soon this Valencia Pride will get big enough, and it's going to need all this spot, because Valencia Prides, they grow big. We know that. Until that happens, we're going to keep planting everything we can around this tree, because we don't know what this January is going to be like, this upcoming January. If it's like anything like the last, this is going to be some good protection from it. Our other plants that we did this to, they survived. Our other trees, they survived. So what we're doing right now is we're just going to put as much as we can to protect this tree around it. And we're just using pigeon peas. So this is what we're doing. It was a mistake for us to put this tree on an island. There was nothing over here. It was just out in the open, wind and was taking it, and it was nothing. Nothing was over here. That's just a few mistakes that I have made. It's been plenty more. Even even a big one, just moving to Central Florida from South Florida, and the heat factor in the summertime of Central Florida. We came from South Florida and we lived right on the coast, right on the water, and it was noticeably cooler. Coming to Central Florida, moving more inland where it is just hot. Like you have to plan your backyard and plan your growing accordingly. So just getting trees that's going to provide shade. Didn't know that at first. We lost quite a bit of few trees that we just put in the ground, and summertime it just fried them. So that's one. Also early on too, we talk about it often, those seed packages, when it says grow in this time through this time, we're following that advice, and it doesn't work down here because our grow zones are different. So if that seed package says, you can sow this in April, I mean, most likely that's going to be into January for us, or February. So just learning that, and just the growth of learning how to garden, and the more reps you put in with anything, the better you get. And that's how it's been for us in the garden. The more we came outside and just put our hands in the soil and just worked our land and learned from our mistakes, we got much better, and now we're teaching it to everybody. So yeah, made a lot of mistakes. Please don't think that our backyard is perfect and everything we do is right, because it's not. We're learning and we're growing same way everybody else is. Question number 4, the person asked to not say their name, which is cool. I watched a video you did on privacy fencing and I have some questions. I want to create an edible fence, and I know you suggested some palm trees for privacy. Do you have any edible privacy plants that will fill an area as good as a bush or a palm tree? Love your videos and your wife's videos too. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Well, yeah, it's quite a few things that you can put as like a privacy fence. As I think what would be the best option, again, just like I said the question before this with bananas, you can use bananas, but you have to just make sure that it's not right up on that fence, because that rhizome has a chance of going underneath and coming up the other side. So just make sure that that's not something that, if you're going to use them, put them like, a couple feet away from the fence, or you can put some root barrier underneath or down, on the fence, so you're not going to have that issue. I would probably say the best thing for an edible fence that you can get a lot of is sugarcane. So if you put some sugarcane down and you lay it down, first off, it's going to be a good windbreaker for your entire backyard and the plants that you put in front of that. So it's going to stop a lot of that wind. Yeah, sugar. If you can grow it in your zone, I don't know what zone that you live in. If you can grow it, sugarcane is just a really excellent way of getting an edible fence established going across the back. Sugarcane would be a good option, because you could put sugarcane a little bit closer to that fence, if depending on the zone you live, and you can let that sugarcane come up and it's going to look good. You're going to be able to get food from it. Another option that you can do is things like Barbados cherry. Barbados cherry, they grow really, really bushy. So you can get your Barbados cherry, like the average fence is what, like 6-7 feet. So you can get your Barbados cherry to be like 7 feet tall, and you can just keep pruning it, and it gets real bushy. So if you have multiple like Barbados cherries around, like that's another option you can do. Also can still do bananas. Just make sure your bananas aren't right up into that fence line. So move your bananas up. So yeah, so sugarcane, Barbados cherries, banana plants, as long as they're not right up against the fence. Those are some pretty good options, I think, for a nice edible fence for you. Also add to that, if you have a trellis that you can put up, passion fruit. Passion fruit grows extremely fast, and it's going to fill in everything. So that's just another option for you if you have a trellis or you have something that you can put up where that passion fruit can grow. But again, that passion fruit is not going to stop. So it will come down over your neighbors and keep finding its way. So make sure you have some type of trellis where you're able to contain it the best you can. Last question of the day, it comes from Dean R.T. McLean. I'm trying to get my wife on board with the idea of turning our backyard into, I don't know, something else. I wouldn't say we're ready for an all-out garden, you know what I mean? But we can do something other than grass and weeds. I know what you mean. My wife is concerned it will bring rats and snakes and other insects and creepy, crawly things. And the kids will pull out everything. Anyway, how do you do it, man? How did you get your family on board? Do your kids help? Is it like chores or something that they do? I read your book, Grow Food, Not Lawns, and the section on raising capable kids really struck with me. Oh, that's cool. I have 2 kids, and all they ever want to do is play video games, and the idea of going outside tires them. I have an older one, and I understand. I'm not sure if I'm late or just doing it wrong. Any advice will help. My kids are 9 and 7. We live in South Carolina, and our summers are almost as brutal as a Florida summer with the heat. Please help, brother. That question, we have a lot to unpack in that one. I'll try the best I can. As far as our kids, no, they're not getting allowance coming outside working. We kind of push them to come do it. We make them come outside and work and help us out because they're eating the majority of the food. I mean, it's a buffet out here to them, and we like that. We like that they can come outside and have healthy things to eat out of abundance. So that's great. It's a win-win for us, but we teach them by making them come outside and work. And the more we have throughout these years made them come outside and help us out, now it's starting to get a little bit more volunteering. Like they want to do it because they know the process. They know when they put a seed in the ground, they know what comes from it, and they like to eat. So uh, you kind of got to push your kids, you know. And I'm not giving any type of parenting advice to anyone, not to you, not to anyone. But in my experience with mine and how I was raised too, you kind of gotta, push them forward and show them because, or else they wouldn't know. They think everything is boring. Oh yeah, I mean, I think our kids too would be the exact same way. Would they prefer video games over coming outside and digging up some some dirt and putting down some mulch? Yes, I mean, I think every kid, unless if you was maybe raised on a farm, would, and even they probably would prefer video games. But you give them a push. You give them a push, and it's just like with chores. Do any kid want to really put dishes away or take out the trash? No, but they're incentivized by that allowance that you give them. Our kids come in the backyard is incentivized because they get so much to eat and they enjoy that. So that's kind of how we get ours out there. And yeah, so no parenting advice, just saying what it is. The second thing, my wife, I didn't have to get her to start. She already started. She enjoys doing it. Is a passion for her too. When we first got our house, she was first. She started the garden before I did. So I was more the muscle. I helped, clear everything out for her and dig up all that useless grass. But yeah, so I didn't have to convince my wife. I didn't have to do that. We always, for years, even before we had this house, we always had that love of gardening and health and vitality. We always had that love and that passion together. So it wasn't no convincing needed for that. Well, I hope this video was helpful and I hope you had a good time watching. It's very hot outside. This summer has been brutal for so many places now. I'm watching places that never even had this type of heat get this crazy heat. So wherever you're at, be careful, be safe, stay hydrated, check on a family member, and make sure you water your plants. Well, until the next video, God bless.